Hi, my achievers. Welcome back to another episode of Navigating Your 20s with me, Zinhle Mahlangu. I am so excited to be back. And I know that I'm not very consistent when it comes to posting on my podcast. I am well aware. And I'm so sorry. I am trying. I was thinking like 2 weeks ago, I was saying I'm going to like set a schedule and I'm going to post every Tuesday on my podcast. But something happened last week that kind of left me like upside down and like it made me really sad. And for a week, I wasn't going to the gym and I wasn't myself. I wasn't waking up to do my morning runs. And I have a marathon in fucking 1 month. I have a marathon in 1 month and I haven't even started training for it. And I've just been stressed. I've been so stressed. But I just told myself that like I'm not gonna let this control me. I'm not gonna let this little thing that happened that is kind of ruining everything for me shift me. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna keep doing me. I'm gonna keep being productive. I'm gonna keep like showing up for myself, and that's the plan from now on. And that means I will be trying to be more consistent in posting on this podcast. And yeah, okay, let's get into it. Before we get into it, please like, follow the podcast, rate the podcast, comment on the podcast. Yeah, share the podcast, please. I don't know. I'm just new at this, and I'm trying to like be better at it. So I really do appreciate it when people comment on the podcast and like send me stuff on Instagram. You can send me comments on Instagram and tell me what I can do better. My Instagram is Bella. Is that an underscore? Yeah, Bella underscore the third with two eyes. The third is spelled with two eyes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so please like, comment, share, subscribe. Just feedback. Give me some feedback because I really appreciate that. And yeah, let's get into the podcast. So, the topic of this podcast today was decided by this nice lady that I live with, and she said I must call it Mind Your Mind. Deep. Yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about your mindset, how your mindset basically just can be a game changer. Knowing how to control what you think can change your life, literally. So I have notes, but knowing me, I'm so terrible with notes. I can have notes and I would still fuck up because my notes are not like properly sectioned. They just like, yeah. Okay, so at the end of this podcast, I'm gonna give you a little challenge. So if you make it to the end, I'm gonna give you a challenge and feel free to message me every single day and tell me how you're doing with your challenge and like, tell me a story. Yeah. Okay, so we say the name of the episode today is Mind Your Mind. It's so deep. It's just so deep. It's so deep. You need to get it to get it. Okay. I always don't know how to start. Like I have the name and I have an idea of what I want to talk about, but I never know how to start. And I'm gonna try to edit this part out because what is this shit? What am I doing? Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about mindset. As I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, that I like something bad happened last week. I wouldn't say something bad. Some things bad happened last week. I just felt like everything was going so well. I was like going to the gym. I was really productive. I was like trying so hard to be the best version of myself. And then something happened and it kind of like shifted everything for me. So I am really big with saving this year. On my vision board, saving is probably the biggest thing there is on that vision board. And I was doing so well. I was over my target to see, like I have a target of how much I want to save every month, and in the 4 months I had saved way over my target, and I was so happy and I was doing so well. And then one thing happened. I'm just gonna say what it is. My fucking work visa. My work visa got fucked up, which means that I cannot work until it's fixed. And I've been trying to fix this visa for months and it's still not fixed, and it's really affecting me. Like it's actually really, so now I'm just afraid of like what's gonna happen in the future, and like what am I gonna do, like how am I gonna make it through, because I really want to save. And I just felt like it was so unfair that I've been working so hard. Like I've been working so hard. At some point I was working two jobs and I was like really trying so hard to like, I don't know, reach my target, and I was pushing myself, and I was like, I'm not a lazy person, I know that. And I just felt like it was so unfair that this thing chose to happen to me, this work visa situation chose to happen to me. And it really got me really down because I was like, what if they never fix it? What if it takes longer to get fixed? What if I don't manage to save my target? And I'm so hard on myself. I always want to reach all my goals, achieve all my goals. So it really had me down. And then yesterday I realized that I just moved into a new place. Oh, also I got homeless. Yeah, but let's not talk about that. I just noticed that I moved into this beautiful place. I have a walk-in closet, which is something that I've always wanted, and this is such a beautiful space that I moved into. I made up my little office space, and I love this room. It has like a shower in it, and like I live with this kind person who is so smart, who I can learn a lot from. And I have savings, like I have plenty of savings, which means I will be fine for like a couple of months. So I think I have enough time until they fix my work visa. But I noticed that I was only focusing on the negatives. And I was not going to the gym in the morning. I was not going for my morning runs. I was not being myself. I was not posting anymore on my social media because I was just so sad and I was focusing on the negatives. And then I listened to a podcast, and then it was just talking about how like you can like change what you think about. You know how when you say you when you talk about green cars and you're going to be looking, I don't know if there's a lot of green cars, but when you talk about green cars, you're going to see a lot more green cars than you would normally pay attention to. So when you pay attention to negative things, you are only going to see those negative things. And that's what I noticed. So I just took control. I took back control, and I told myself that I am in control and I'm not going to let this fuck me up. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Sorry, I need to drink. Mm. Yeah. So, firstly, I'm going to give you the tools, things that you can do to change your mindset, because I feel like it's so easy to say, change your mindset, change how you think about life. But if your mind automatically thinks about things that are not good and you worry and you can't help it, people who overthink cannot help it. People who overthink cannot wake up and be like, okay, I'm done overthinking. I'm never going to overthink again. It just happens. You just need to try hard to change it. And I'm an overthinker. I'm a person who overthinks all the time. I'm a person who worries all the time. It's just been instilled in me from a young age to worry all the time. Like, I feel like I live so much in the future and I cannot live in the present because I'm always afraid of like, what if this happens and I can't fucking fix it? Or what if this happens and I can't deal with it? So I'm always living in the future. So these are the things that I did to like change my mindset and to allow myself to like be able to live in the present, because that's very important for you to be happy. And honestly, worrying about the future will not change the future. Like, acting in the present can change the future, but worrying about it will not change it. And sometimes the things that we worry about don't even happen. Like, half of the things that we worry about don't even happen, and we just wasted the present worrying about the future that's probably never gonna happen. Yeah. So these are the tools that you can use to change your mindset and to be able to live more in the moment. Firstly, I started listening to podcasts. I feel like listening to podcasts is such a game changer. It was a game changer for me because I started listening to people talk and I started like thinking about things that I have never thought about. I started listening to people who have been like in the same experiences as me. Like, I learned about childhood trauma from listening to podcasts, and then I started seeing how my childhood trauma was affecting me in my relationship and all of that. So I feel like the first thing you can do is listen to podcasts. Or if you don't like listening to podcasts, then I don't know. I feel like every person can find a podcast that resonates with them. There is no way in the world you cannot find one podcast that resonates with you. Like, you just need to listen to it. You can listen to it when you're cleaning, when you're driving. You don't need to sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to put a 10-minute timer and listen to a podcast. You're going to get bored. Listen to it when you're cleaning. Listen to it when you're doing something, and it also helps you do things quicker because your mind is now thinking about all these things that they're talking about, and then you're just like moving. Yeah, listen to podcasts. Another thing that you can do to change your mindset: surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with positive people, because if you surround yourself with negative people, they're just going to see the negatives just like you see the negatives, and then y'all are just going to dwell on the negatives. So surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people that remind you that life is good, life is great, life is what you make it. Surround yourself with positive people. Okay. And try new things. This can definitely change your mindset. Trying new things will definitely change your life and your mindset. Because let me explain it. Let me explain it in a smart way. Every time you try something new and you get better at it, you're proving to your mind that you will get better at anything you try. And every time you do something you're not good at and you keep doing it again and again and you keep showing up for yourself, you're proving to your inner child that you will show up for yourself no matter what. Every time you go to the gym when you don't feel like it, you're proving to your inner self, to your young, what is it called? Inner child. Every time you wake up in the morning and you go to the gym when you don't feel like going to the gym, you're proving to your inner child that you will always take care of them. Every time you invest in yourself, you're proving to yourself that you care about yourself and that you love yourself and that you have your own back. So, trying new things and doing them repeatedly is a way of changing your mindset, a huge one. And something else. Let me see. Give me time. I need to read this out because I wrote notes and yeah, another thing that I wrote is do things on your own. Doing things on your own can be great for you, honestly. Let me make an example. When I grew up, I hated cooking. I really, really hated cooking. Like, I did not want to cook because, okay, I had an experience twice where, firstly, I think I was like 10 years old. I don't remember how old I was. I tried cooking and then my dad walked in the house while I was cooking and I got bitten for it. And he was like, "What are you doing?" And like he bit me for it. And then when I was like 16, or no, I was young. I was like 14. I tried cooking and my dad threw the food right on my face. Like he threw the food that I cooked right on my face and that kind of fucked up my confidence in cooking. And then I always thought I hated cooking. But then when I started staying by myself, I actually found out I really love cooking. I enjoy cooking. I really, really love cooking. Like, I love, even if it's not cooking, just preparing meals is so fun for me. And the only way I discovered that was when I started doing it by myself without the pressure of somebody else liking it, without having to prove it to somebody else. And even if it's not about the food, like doing things on your own is so good for you because you don't have pressure to prove it to anyone. You're not doing it for anybody else, and you don't have anyone else like judging you or telling you what to do. You're just doing it on your own. You are there spending time with yourself. So learn to do things on your own, travel on your own, go to restaurants on your own, do all of those things. It's really, really good for your mindset. You're proving to yourself that you have your own back again and that you don't really need anybody else to feel happy, to feel good about yourself. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Don't compare yourself to other people. That's another way to change your mindset. Oh my God, I feel like this is so hard. It's so easy for a person to be like, don't compare yourself to other people because you know what? Yeah, just don't. I used to do that a lot. I used to compare myself to other people. I used to compare myself to the girlies that had iPhones. I have an iPhone now, but that's a story for another day. I used to compare myself to the girlies that had iPhones. I used to compare myself to the girls that had both loving parents. I used to compare myself to girls at school that had beautiful hair, that had beautiful bodies. I had no confidence in my body whatsoever. I had like my dad was very strict, so we didn't really get all the nice things. We didn't have like DSTV. If you're South African, you know what DSTV is. We didn't have DSTV growing up. So I used to compare myself to those girls that had DSTV at home. They had nice phones. Their parents picked them up from school, or like they didn't have to walk home from school. I used to compare myself to those girls so much. And even when I was older, like even when I moved here to Ireland, I used to compare myself to the girls that had been in Ireland for like ever because obviously they have a red passport. They can travel whenever they want. They don't have to fucking wait 6 months for a work visa like me. They have it not easy. They have their own problems. But I used to compare myself a lot and it used to get me down. But what I didn't understand was those girls have their own insecurities. They are probably comparing themselves to somebody else. And we have different goals. We want different things in life. We want different outcomes in life. So you cannot compare yourself to somebody else because you are not going the same direction. You, honestly, I wish I could say that. I wish I could meet my younger self and be like, "Stupid, stop it, stop." Okay, I wouldn't hit. I wouldn't hit my younger self. But like comparing yourself is so useless and it's so stupid because you don't have, number one, you don't have the same emotional traumas. People make decisions according to their own emotional traumas, and some people are overspenders and they can have like really, really nice things, but it doesn't mean they have a good mental health. So there's no reason to compare yourself. You're on your own path. You know what you want for yourself, and just do what's right for you. Stop trying to people please. Stop comparing yourself. Just don't do that. That's another way of taking control of your mind. This is such I'm actually quite happy with how I'm doing right now. So oh my god, I'm sorry for touching that. What else? Please give me a moment to reflect on this. Feed your mind with positivity. This goes back to listening to podcasts on your Instagram. Okay. If when I'm saying feed your mind with positivity, I mean what you are watching on Instagram is feeding your mind. What you're watching on Netflix is feeding your mind. What you're reading is feeding your mind. If you are like me and you can't read, I don't blame you. Honestly, I cannot read to save my life. I have tried reading. It's not fun for me, and I wish I was more disciplined, and maybe one day I'll be able to read, but that day is not today. But I do listen to podcasts, and that feeds my mind because it has my mind working. And who you surround yourself with feeds your mind. The people you talk to, the things you talk about. If every time you meet up with your friends, you're talking about other people, or you're talking about your exes that were negative and toxic, you're not feeding your mind with positivity, and you're not feeding your mind with good things. So obviously your mindset is going to be all doom and gloom. So change your surroundings, change what you listen to, the type of music you listen to, change the type of things you see on Instagram, unfollow people that don't have the same things that are not living the life that you want to live, block posts that don't resonate with you. Just make sure your feed is feeding your mind positivity. What else? What else to build a positive mindset? Let's see. Yeah, go to the gym. Obviously, everybody should just go to the gym. I shouldn't be telling you go to the gym. You should just go to the gym. Why should I tell you that? Of course, it's the one way you can like glow up. Not the one way, but it's a way you can glow up. Like, I mean, hmm. Over here, I wrote trust yourself, but the only way you can trust yourself, the only way you can teach yourself that you are enough, you are worth loving is by showing up for yourself. That's the only way. Trying new things, being bad at something, and doing it again and again until you're good at it is just a way of proving to yourself that I got you. I got your back, baby. I got your back. Okay. So, yeah. And on the last one, I just wrote I follow Alex Hamosi. Hamosi, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And I saw a post that he posted. It was something like, if you're willing to suck at something 100 times, you will be better than 99% of people, or something like that. And I liked it because it just shows that all you have to do is try and be consistent and keep trying and not give up, and something is going to give. Something's going to give. I'm not good with the sayings. But yeah, today's whole episode was just based on changing your mindset. And if you listen to the episode properly, you will see that I just gave you some tips, some things that you could do to change your mindset, to become more positive, to think better, and to just, I don't know, live your best life. I want you to listen to this podcast and feel like you can be the best version of yourself. I want you to listen to this podcast and feel like you can take control of your life, and I want you to know that everything is up to you. Everything is up to you. Everything is happening for you. Yeah, there's a saying that says it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. You have control over every single part of your life, and I want you to know that. And your mind is the one way to take control. If you can control what you think, if you can control what you feed your mind, you have the power, honestly. Thank you so much for listening. Before before I end this episode, I want to give you a little challenge. I'm going to be giving you a challenge every week, and this week's challenge is, I want you to do that one thing that you've been putting off. That one thing that you know that you should be doing, that you've been putting off. You've just not been doing it. I want you to do it every day this week, and I want you to send me a text on Instagram. I want you to send me a text that says you've done it. Just send done on Instagram every time you do this thing, and you can tell me what it is if you want, or you can just send me a text that says done. For me, it's going to be waking up every morning to do my morning run. I have been putting it off, and I am going to do it every single day, and I'm going to post it on my Instagram, and Yeah, I want you to do the same. Maybe it's going to bed early. Maybe it's not scrolling in the morning for like 1 hour and it's waking up immediately when you open your eyes. Maybe it's praying. Maybe it's something that I haven't mentioned, but I want you to do that one thing that you've been putting off, and I want you to do it every single day for the rest of the week and send me a text that says done. Prove it to yourself. It's not a challenge. It's called a fun task. Yeah, fun task. It's not a challenge. It's a fun task. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for listening to this. And I love the fact that you made it to the end because yeah, I know listening to podcasts can be kind of long, but I'm gonna cut that part out. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for listening. And I will see you again next week. I will definitely show up. I will not send you up. I will be here again next week with something great to share with you. Love you so much, Achievers. Bye.